There is so much going on in the world of Pokemon right now. It is absolutely crazy. If you are a fan of the Pokemon card competitive game, obviously a lot of noise right now with the new format that TPCI released as far as what's going on with competitive play for next season, changing the point structure, doing more of a ranking thing where there's not a specific amount of points that you need to qualify for Worlds. Instead, they're limiting it to 125 Masters from the United States or from North America. A lot of things have changed. Things are going to be different moving into next season. We have the World Championships for Pokemon next month in Honolulu in Hawaii. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And outside of that, from more of a collecting, more of a Pokemon, it's nuts right now. Like, we have had some fun in Scarlet and Violet. There's been some cool sets that have come out in Scarlet and Violet. It started out a little slow. Scarlet and Violet base probably didn't live up to the hype of what a lot of people put on it. And then Paldea Evolve came in and kind of crushed things. Paldea Evolve was fantastic. And then we took a step back. It almost felt like with Obsidian Flames, it seemed like Paldea and Fates didn't get quite as much love as I think TPCI was probably hoping for. They introduced Paradox Pokemon with Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces. Twilight Masquerade was a lot of fun. Pull rate seemed to change a lot. And now here we are, nearing in the end of summer. It's hard to believe summer's already half over. We've got a new specialty set that's coming out at the beginning of August. That's Shrouded Fable. Jury's still kind of out on that one. There's a lot of people who are excited about it and a lot of people who are not overly excited about it. And now we have a lot coming up very, very quickly. So there's another set release that's going to come out in September, Stellar Miracle, or whatever it's called, Stellar something. I can't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head. And then the fun really starts. Like, we have December. I'm just going to flip you guys around. We're just going to jump right into this. So Terastal Festival. This came out a few weeks ago. The information on this already kind of came out. And I haven't talked about it too much yet. But the new high-class set in Japan is going to be releasing on December 6th. It says right here, this is PokeBeach.com. We can confirm that Terastal Festival is the name of Japan's annual high-class pack set. It will release on Friday, December 6th. That means it will probably come to the United States or North America in more of a specialty set form, like what we've seen from Crown Zenith a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. Crown Zenith released as the last specialty set, the last set of the Sword and Shield block. We had Elite Trainer boxes, we had pin collections, and all these tin collections, pin collections, collection boxes, all these different things from Crown Zenith. I think this is going to be kind of similar to that, but it is going to feature Eevees. And there's a lot of speculation about this set already. People don't really know what to expect from it because there's not a whole lot of news about it yet. Obviously, it doesn't come out in Japan until December. Then we've got the Glory to Team Rocket set, I believe, releasing in January. It's going to be absolutely nuts once we get through the fall, and it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of pay attention to and see what's all coming. There's a lot of speculation about the new Eevee set. Are they going to introduce a new Eeveelution? Is it just going to be the same ones that we have? Or are we going to get a bunch of special illustration rares? High-class sets, specialty sets, don't typically have a ton. But if you look at historically, Shining Fates, there was a fair amount of full art shiny cards. But when you look at Paldean Fates, special illustration rares, there weren't that many. Hidden Fates had a lot of big cards when they introduced the full art shinies. Crown Zenith had a fair amount of Galarian Gallery cards in the back half of the Galarian Gallery. Obviously a little bit more difficult to pull. They had the gold cards, so the chase cards were in there. So it'll be very interesting to see how they handle all the Eeveelutions in a specialty set. They did release some information about the Sylveon EX. Now, this comes out in a starter deck in Japan. Now, there is no confirmation or understanding yet how this card will release in English. This very well could be a starter deck in the United States or in North America. However, it could also just be an inclusion of Terastal Festival. It could just be a card that makes it into our English specialty set. That's happened a lot before as well. So this comes out at the end of August, August 30th. This is kind of our first look at Eeveelutions in a Terastal form or in a Scarlet and Violet era, which has a lot of people worried, has a lot of people conscientious, and they should be. It's very important. We're going to look at Evolving Skies today because it just keeps going up. And it's very, very interesting to watch, not necessarily buy, because Evolving Skies is absolutely nuts, and demand for this set is like nothing we've ever seen before. Now, I don't think the new Eevee set will get anything like this, because this is just insane. Obviously, Evolving Skies came out when there was a perfect storm that was going on in the world of Pokemon cards, where we were having just all these absolute bangers of alternate arts that were coming out. Pokemon popularity and demand was at an all-time high. We had the pandemic going on, so there was a lot of issues with production and not being able to keep up with demand. They had multiple print runs of Evolving Skies. You had all this content regarding Evolving Skies, which pushed the chase even further. Very difficult pull rates. So I don't think we're going to see anything like that. But the important thing the community needs to understand is not to FOMO. So if you want to pay attention to news, you want to get excited about it, that's great. I think that's wonderful. I think that's really important. But you let your wallet do the talking, right? If we have seen before, there is plenty of, even now, so now that we are 3 years removed from the release of Evolving Skies, even now, there is still plenty of Evolving Skies that can be found out there for close to MSRP pricing. Target has put out these V Heroes tins multiple times, or the hidden potential tins, whatever tins they are, multiple times that do have Evolving Skies packs in them. And granted, when you break down the pack cost, it's basically you get 4 packs for $20, so it's basically $5 a pack, which is just a hair above MSRP. But as we're going to see in this slideshow, Evolving Skies packs are selling for, you know, double digits, over $10 a piece, over $12 a piece. It's absolutely insane. So there's still Evolving Skies out there. So don't let FOMO get the best of you. There will be opportunity to buy the new Eevee set at affordable costs. There will be plenty of supply out there, and that's why it's so important to not let our wallets do the talking. I'm sure there will be people out there trying to take advantage of it. Let's just ignore them and not fall into whatever it is that they decide to do. If you want to call them out on it, go nuts. But at the same time, the big thing is just make sure that we don't FOMO, enjoy the release, and hopefully everything goes good. I know that's wishful thinking, right? Okay, we're going to look at Evolving Skies because, like I said, it just keeps going up, and you think it's going to slow down a little bit, and it does. But even when it slows down, it continues to trend upward. So this is the Evolving Skies booster box right here. Like I said, it's been out for a few years now, almost 3 years since the release. It released in August of 2021. Here we are, July of 2023. The box is right around $370 or so, $385.56. That's when it was at its 1 year low, and it was fairly consistent at that point all the way up until December of 2023. So you had 5 months where it hovered right around 375, 385, didn't maybe trickled above 400 barely, and then January hit, and it went absolutely nuts. As you can see, just insane growth after January hit, jumped up all the way to about $700, just under $700, and that was when April hit. Now it's been level for the last few months, just right around that $680 to $700 mark. It's sitting at $707.37 right now. That is an all-time high for Evolving Skies, kind of approaching that Evolutions territory. Once we saw Evolutions hit about $750, $800 a booster box, it backed off a little bit. The difference between Evolving Skies and Evolutions is the chase cards in Evolutions is so much more plentiful, especially because you have a chase card like the Moonbreon, which is still at a point, even with booster boxes over $700, still at a point where the chase card of the set is worth more than the booster box. You don't have that for a lot of sets out there right now that are out of print. If you look at like Chilling Reign, you have the Blaziken that's a little bit above, but you have like Sword and Shield, Rebel Clash, Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage, Battle Styles, like all of those cards. Battle Styles might be a little bit with the Tyranitar now because of how much that gained. But for a long time, I mean, you even look at older cards, older vintage sets, the chase card in the set is not worth even the booster box price. You look at Evolutions, a $700 booster box, well, the best card that you can pull out of that is what? The Full Art Mega Charizard or the Holographic Charizard, selling for $40, $50, $60, somewhere around that price point, unless you pull a card that's worthy of that PSA 10 price tag. So the Evolving Skies booster box just continues to climb. The case continues to climb, and this is currently at $3,392.71 and not selling right now. There is none listed at this price on TCG Player. There's only a couple listed, and they are way above this $3,392.71 mark. I think a lot of people would be okay buying a case of Evolving Skies right now because that basically breaks down to just over $500 per booster box. But right now, haven't had a lot of sales that have updated the market pricing on this, but just looking at the graph and seeing how it's grown over the past year, absolutely insane. Going to continue to trend in the upward direction. Here is part of the reason that this Evolving Skies booster box case is at the point that it's at. There have been multiple sales lately on TCG Player. And again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. TCG Player needs to fix this. So this was a recent sale on TCG Player, sold on July 5th for a sealed case of Evolving Skies for $1,000. $1,000 plus $24.99 on shipping. It was sold by this company, Red Card Magic, which has an 88.9% review rate with only 9 sales. So there was a couple of cases that sold for this $1,000 mark. Those, I do not believe that these were real sales. I mean, I guess maybe they just wanted to dump them really quick, but 99.9% positive, these are not real sales. And somebody would have paid for it, and they are not going to get it shipped. They're going to have to open up a dispute. But because of this $1,000 sale, it's bringing down the market price. And that's what TCG Player needs to figure out. They need to figure out a way to identify the outliers like this and remove them, so that way it doesn't impact this price point right here. Because if somebody goes in and lists Evolving Skies cases, one of the options is going to be to sell it at current market, which is $3,400 because of sales, fake sales like this. So here's the Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box. These are very difficult to find out in the open anymore. For a long time, you could still kind of find them every once in a while, maybe at Walmart or a Target. You might get lucky, but now we have gotten to a point now where Evolving Skies pretty much done for completely. Very slow growth from July of 2023 all the way up to February of 2024. You can see it actually backtracked a little bit in February of 2024, where it fell back down to about $80. And then again, once the booster box jumped up in price, this followed suit and jumped up quite a bit. It jumped up almost 20% in the span of a couple of months. February of 2024, sitting right around that $80 mark, and then jumping all the way up to $126.86, which is where it currently is standing. That's at an all-time high for the Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box. There's a second variant of this. This is the cheaper one currently. Same thing with the Evolving Skies exclusive ones from the Pokemon Center, which we'll look at in a second. Here's a sealed case of Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes. You can see kind of level, right, from July of 2023 all the way up until May of 2024. Still growing, but slow growth. And then May of 2024 just shot up like crazy. Jumped up to $1,012.43, just over $100. Remember, you get 10 Elite Trainer boxes in a case. So it does break down to a little bit cheaper per piece than if you buy them individual, but still $1,012.43, obviously gaining over 30% over the past year, which is insane. Here is that exclusive Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box that we're looking at. This one actually trended downward for the majority of 2023. You can see at one point in July, this was hovering right around $190, and then lost about 25% of its value over the next 5 months. In December of 2023, it was selling for $151.22, then started growing a little bit, hit about $160 in May, and then shot up like crazy. Now it's sitting at an all-time high again of $193.32 and continuing to trend in that upward direction. Here's the Build and Battle box of Evolving Skies. This is Evolving Skies is one of those sets where pretty much every single sealed product is doing extremely well, which is very, very out of the norm for pretty much every other set. July of 2023, this was sitting right around $52.65. You get 4 packs in this, so not a ton of booster packs in here, but people just want sealed collections of Evolving Skies. You can see relatively slow growth, again, all the way up until May. It did jump up to about $56, so it gained about 10% over the course of a few months, but then stayed at that point pretty much all the way over the next 8 months or so, and then in May of 2024 jumped up another 25%, where now it's sitting at $66.73 and continuing to trend upward. Here's a sealed display of those Build and Battle boxes. This one, again, very slow growth, or actually went backwards a little bit from August of 2023 all the way up until May of 2024, and then shot up again in May of 2024, but still well above that $431.40 price point that it was at in July of 2023. Now it's sitting at $571.31, so that's an all-time high for this. Basically breaks down to about $57 a piece, which is a little bit less than if you buy the display or the singular a single copy of an Evolving Skies Build and Battle box. Here's the Build and Battle Stadium, the only one that Pokemon has released that's doing extremely well. This one comes with 12 packs of the Evolving Skies. It has 2 of those Build and Battle kits in it, and then also 4 loose packs in it. After we hit the Scarlet and Violet era, they brought that down to 11 packs instead, because they changed the MSRP, and they left the MSRP the same for Build and Battle Stadiums. So in order to compensate, so that way they wouldn't lose as much money, apparently they got rid of 1 booster pack in July of 2023. This is sitting at $113.13. Every other Build and Battle Stadium can be had for just about MSRP, just not the Evolving Skies one, which is selling for about 3 times MSRP currently, selling at $167.11, and again continuing to trend in the upward direction. There's a couple different variations of the 3-pack blister. There's the Umbreon that we're looking at now. There's also an Ice Cube variant. This one trended downward a little bit, where it was around $48 or so, dropped down in December of 23 to about $43, $43.09. That was its all-time low, or its 1-year low, and then slow growth for a few months, and then March hit and it just started really going up. Now it's sitting at $63.28, so about 50% 60% growth over the next few months there between March and May, sitting at 63.28 currently. There's a bunch of different variations of check lane boosters. We're just looking at the one with Eevee in here. Again, trending downward for the majority of 2023 all the way up until May of 2024. You can see it hit $14.19 and then jumped up almost 20% over the course of a month, sitting at $16.62 currently. Here's the Evolving Skies sleeve booster pack. These are very difficult to find out in the open anymore. For the most part, I know a lot of people are still finding Silver Tempest sleeve booster packs out at Walmarts and places like that, but nowadays it seems like the majority of the packs that you see out there are going to be from the Scarlet and Violet era. Obviously, Scarlet and Violet generation has been out for over a year now, which is why a lot of those marketing companies are going to be stocking mostly that, with 6 sets, 7 sets out now that are featuring Scarlet and Violet. This one is slow growth from July of 2023 all the way up until March of 2024. You can see it was at $9.10 in July. March of 2024, it was only at about $10.50. So it still gained about 15% over the course of 7 or 8 months. But then when March hit, again, like what we saw from a lot of these other Evolving Skies, just took that next step. It just jumped up like crazy, almost doubled in price. And now your market price on this is sitting at $17.75. You can also buy a art set of Evolving Skies. A lot of people collect art sets of booster packs, art sets of sleeve boosters. This one has also grown quite a bit over the past year. In February, that's where it started doing the majority of its damage, going from $36 up to about $42 in February. So over the course of, again, about 7-8 months, it gained about 20% and then jumped up a lot more after that, where it went from $42 up to about $54, gained about 40% over the last few months, sitting at $54.43 currently. And here's the loose booster pack of Evolving Skies. For a long time, it was relatively flat, hovering right around that $8 mark. You can see it did dip down to $6.71 at one point in August of last year. But then even in March of 2024, it was still below $8. And that was the last time we really saw Evolving Skies below $8, was March of 2024, and then started gaining a lot of ground. Jumped up to $12.47 recently. It's sitting at $11.87. Again, you can still find these out there a little bit here and there in collection boxes, in tins, those V-Hero tins, the Hidden Potential tins. The Trainer Toolkit from 2022 does have them in it. Just one singular pack of Evolving Skies. So you can still find some Evolving Skies out there for relatively inexpensive, just if you're looking to buy a mass quantity of them. Very, very difficult to find. Here's the art set of loose packs, relatively flat all the way up until February of 2024, and then basically went from $30.83 when it was at its 1-year low, all the way up to $48.77, about 60% growth over the course of a few months right there. Absolutely insane. So I don't think that we're going to have to worry about this happening again, because like I said, it was a perfect storm. You can let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Are you excited for the new Evolution set that we have really no information about yet, other than December 6th release over in Japan? Definitely wait. Definitely be patient. Definitely don't make any rash decisions or anything like that. Let's wait. Let's see what card scans look like, what leaks look like as far as special illustration rares go, special art rares go, and then we can kind of make our decisions based off of the information that's given to us. But don't buy into the FOMO or anything like that. I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a really long way for the algorithm. Most importantly, I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch and listen. Means a lot to me. I'll be back tomorrow with a live, and then Thursday with another video. Until next time, peace.